Dun dun dun. Bing bing. Dun dun dun. Bing bing. Dun 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 dun.
Hey everybody, Skolo here, playing Assassin's Creed 3. Which is kind of interesting because I hated 1 and 2. This is actually my second time trying to record this. My original concept was that you would discover me, or watch me discover the game as is, because Assassin's Creed and I have a history, and it's not a very good history. Essentially, I think it's overrated. It's taking every single conspiracy theory ever conceived and pretending that they're all true at the same time. No, I'm just not for that. Plus the PC control scheme of I will input a control and just let the computer will, or the game rather, will take that under consideration, maybe. Well, you know, it's pretty crummy. Well, Assassin's Creed 2 has set up made two major mistakes. It set up a plot hole within 11 seconds when it stated that Desmond had no idea what was going on. And at the end, when Juno, the precursor AI, is talking to Desmond through Ezio and addressing Desmond as Desmond, so Ezio's going, "Who's Desmond?" That's an issue, because that means that the progenitors who set up this AI thousands of years before Ezio, well, they knew future history well enough that they could predict accurately the name of someone generations down the line, thousands of years in the future. So so the entire idea of the assassins trying to protect human freedom is a total crock. There is no freedom under such circumstances. The Templars would be trying to control humanity not just to save it, but they'd just be swapping control from, well, hell, it might not even be swapping control from mere predictable nature to human control, but it would be preordained. So let's do this again. Yeah, well, we'll start this again. Dipshit Miles.
Used to be when people talked about the end of the world,
now,
we locked them up, or laughed them off. Sometimes both.
Your dad is,
seriously.
John Delancey, so that's cool.
But I'm getting ahead of myself. Better to start at the beginning, with the abduction of Desmond Miles, my son. This boy had no ambition, no direction.
So, okay, I am the son of Q and or
have
Discord. That's cool. I can deal with that.
Chose to deny. It nearly cost him his life.
Because blah blah blah,
he was captured and imprisoned.
Well, at least this one they're establishing that, yeah, he gave it up rather than he didn't know. So I'm glad they kind of ignored that plot.
One of several artifacts we call Pieces of Eden. Bits of ancient technology scattered across the globe.
Which do weird things, like multiply you.
Found, all of them dangerous.
Or the Pope Staff,
Most
which
are held by a single group. The same
did something
group
I forget.
That now had Desmond.
You
know them as Abstergo Industries. We know them as the Templars. As the enemy. We've been fighting them for thousands of years. Even longer if you believe the stories of their origins. I do.
Of course you do.
I've seen the truth. That's the beauty
and the horror of the Animus. Oh yeah, genetic memory. You really don't want me to get started on that.
Of our ancestors.
And how silly an idea it is.
To show us history the way it really happened. Up until its creation, to the victor went the spoils, went the truth. We're trying to fix that, to free minds and bodies both.
But you can't, because it's preordained, effectively. It's a Clockwork Orange.
Larger than the Assassins and Templars is approaching.
Now here's the problem, is that in the first game, Africa is pretty much dead. Also, the neutrinos are mutating!
In the end, it all comes down to him. To Desmond. Through the Animus,
who discovered that he was a Syrian asshole.
Of his ancestors and uncovered their secrets. When that was done, he trained.
And then he learned
used
he
another
was an
ancestor to
Italian
get
asshole.
experience in the span of a few days. It worked. We think.
And then he got a bitchin' hoodie with a needless zipper down the front.
That ominous date fast approaches,
Down the
December
top, I guess.
21st, 2012.
Ugh.
None of us knows what it'll bring, only that this is where they want us to be, when it does. They've been guiding us in their own fractured, frustrating way. These voices from the first civilization.
Yeah, the ones who came before and created humanity.
A
Yeah.
precursor race of immense power and uncertain motives. They're the ones who made the pieces of Eden.
Yes, and they also created humanity as a servitor
And
race.
through him, us. He stands at the entrance to this long-lost place.
Now you see, the
armed
thing
with
is
knowledge
that,
of Altair
okay,
and
I've
the
already played
abilities of
through this first
He holds
introductory
in his
part
hands
once,
the
so the bit
apple
that they
of
just
Eden,
showed
and we
is where you
stand
end
at
up,
his
and that would have been a
side,
much
ready
better
to
place
support
to
him
start.
however we can.
But, you'll
His
see.
name is Desmond
Assuming, of course, you
Miles.
haven't played this
He's
already, at
brought
which
us
point
to
you're
the
just
end.
here to see me suffer. So I will try to relive my suffering for the first time. The second time. Doop doop doop, loading van, loading van. Loading van. That's the 31st of October in 2012, because we know the world's going to end in
We're here.
21 days-ish. And out we go, and Desmond looks different, I think. Maybe it's the hair, I don't know. It just doesn't look the same. It's got the same scar, but
Let's go.
you creepy dead-eyed man. Now, first thing I do is wander over here and establish that yes, there are walls and they are invisible. And the second thing I established and started, well, other than flipping through little trees, which I don't really mind over much, is that I cannot use shift to run right now. I have to walk through this. And then he walks weirdly, like a weird man should. Man, I'm sounding like Evil Tim. Not a bad thing, but I'm not British and I shouldn't steal a shtick. And also, who moves their legs like that? Seriously. Anyway, let's gonna move on. This first section is just a bunch of walking slowly through a hallway. It's wonderful gameplay, and I fully understand why they used it. Actually, I'm being sarcastic, because here, would be a great point for them to, you know, to indicate how to use stuff. But no, this is an ancient artifact wall that's been spray painted on. That the authorities apparently had no idea about, but we did, because we're smart like that. And he inserts the key, and it spins around, and it glows, and yes, I'm still sounding like Evil Tim, but I don't care, because that's keeping this interesting.
Went Alice after it, never once considering how in the world
Shut up.
she was to get out again.
Now, I mean, quoting Lewis Carroll and Alice in Wonderland, it's always good, but that guy's just a needless dick. So... Hump-a-dump-a-dump-a-dump. And we walk forward with the people with the boxes. And we walk forward some more with the people with the boxes. You know, for that little interstitial that meant nothing. And then the people with the boxes stop. Because we need a cutscene. And the piece of Eden that is the wonderful ancient technology is a garage door opener.
I think we're here.
Yeah, well, brilliant. Excellent deduction there, Sherlock. And then we institute a sawtooth. So you slide down and you can't go back up. And of course, your buddies aren't going to follow you, because that would be plot, you know. You don't see them sliding down or dropping their boxes or anything. And as you walk past, they just kind of are gone. And then you walk forward some more. Yep, great walking simulator. Everybody wanted that. And you fall down something, and you go up something, and you go into the super shiny material of the ancients. And then suddenly they're there! Teleportation. He looks at the box. And you get to see the seam on his arm, kind of twitching. And the first puzzle of the game, you solve in a cutscene. Yeah. Awesome. Humpadum, humpadum. Everything turns on. Glorious. And I know they're playing it up for dramatic effect, but it just seems a little overdone. Yeah, because remember, this is the part from the beginning, you know, at the doorway, blah 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 blah. So they just had you walk down a few hallways for no reason. It's not good gameplay design. But, you know, whatever. It's their artistic vision, you know, like the Star Child in Mass Effect 3.
The key. You must find the key.
Oh, right, and because he's been in the Animus so long and got well Ezio know so well, he's now insane.
Sir.
Here we go again.
And collapsification. Boom.
Desmond?
Do you hear us?
Yeah. What happened?
The temple triggered a bleeding effect. You collapsed and entered into a fugue state.
So naturally you dropped me into the Animus instead of, I don't know, making sure I was okay?
Whee!
You weren't in any danger. Besides, the temple appeared to be communicating with you, and I didn't want to risk severing the connection. At least not until we knew what it wanted.
Right. Of course.
Son,
No, it's fine. I get it. And I know what I'm looking for, by the way. It's a key.
I just don't know what kind of
No
key
idea
or
where it
what
is.
it is, but it's probably a cube or something,
It's a
because hey,
specific
no, it's gotta
key.
be circular, because the thing in the wall was circular shaped.
Juno, Dad. She's talking to me.
In my head.
Okay, Desmond. While you were, visiting Constantinople, we picked up a
Istanbul, it's
software update
Constantinople,
for the
it's
Animus.
Istanbul,
I'd
now
like to run a couple
Constantinople.
of quick tests, make sure there aren't any major issues.
Yep, we had a tutorial
Right.
because we already
What do you
had
need
you
me to
walking
do?
around. We could have done the
Walk to
tutorials
the
there,
button over there.
but for the sake of trying to maintain immersion, we did it in the Animus. Great. So I'm just gonna rush through this really quickly. There's not much to it. You hold down the
Okay,
right
Desmond,
mouse key,
let's
you
practice climbing
continue
on these
pressing
objects.
forward effectively, and then you run up some imaginary things, and you jump and climb and do all the stuff that make people love this game so very much apparently. And up and over and up and up and over and over and over and over and over, because he's now Ezio, the awesome
Rerun
man.
your way through this
And over and over and over, and continue free running like you pretty much have been throughout this, because hey, why not? Over and up and over and down the slidey thing and up the thing.
That's a constraint. These are optional objectives that raise your synchronization rate.
Yay, synchro rate.
Alright, Desmond, follow the on-screen instructions and kill the two
Whee!
Templars.
Die, needless guy. Of course, they don't really know that it's in the... Now, air assassination.
All you have to do
Boom!
here is jump the gap.
Talking about jumping gaps, okay. They're talking here, and then you go this way, and then you go this way, and that way, and then over here. And so far the controls are actually working a lot better than they used to. So, no complaints there, surprisingly enough. I'll be honest. Then up and down and over and over and over and jump like a crazy man. And then suddenly I am
Synchronization
John
level
Paul
50.
Jones!
Should be able to build the world. Time to find out what the temple wants from you.
Yay, they want me to be an Englishman. I was complaining earlier that everyone had English accents in the colonial period, but no, this is actually set in England, so that's okay. Except that I think they were thinking that quite possibly English accent of the time was more like the American accent now. Whatever.
Everything all right, sir?
So, what's all this then?
I'm just preoccupied, that's all.
Don't forget your invitation. Master Birch will be meeting you inside.
Well, that's not Master Bates. Her.
Front of the Opera House. And be quick about it. Don't expect to be here long.
I'll bring her round at once.
Alright. And yes, there, just to show you guys, yeah, still more invisible walls. I mean, I know why, but it's cheap.
Please. Shall I take your coat, sir?
And again, I'm just recording this again, so I don't want to waste anyone's time. But if I walk up there, at least it's not a invisible wall. Instead, it's an invincible rope. What's it called? Rope wall, whatever.
Good evening, sir. This way, please.
Then, what you always wanted from Ubisoft, a seating simulator. Yep, over. Oh, and you can't go back. No, that's kind of sad. But the parts where you're basically just shoehorning a character through or a player through, why make that interactive?
They'd mounted this revival. Gay's best work by far. Have you seen it before?
Oh yeah, I've seen this already. I played through it once, but the video didn't save quite right.
I don't suppose tonight will afford me the luxury of a proper viewing either.
Sad.
Do you see him?
Hoopadoo. Oh, Eagle Vision, I remember that. I'm gonna look over here, see if I can find some tits. Nope. Over here. That's the guy that I gotta go kills.
He's seated in one of the boxes above.
The stairs are watched. You'll need to find another way up.
Then, back to the game. So we are going to get up with the E button, and then we are going to wander over here, once again apologize to people, and slam that guy back into his chair, which was kind of funny. I still will appreciate that. And then the camera will just go nuts on us. That's okay, we don't care. We are climbing. That's the climbing does. We're going up here because of course you're going to be climbing in plain sight. I don't think this is what they meant when they said about hiding in plain sight, and these people will not notice us. Those people are excused from noticing us. And then we can't go on that way because there's a lamp, and the button won't let me. So there's really no part in blowing this, it's just more tutorial. There was no real point in adding a tutorial, really. I could have just... And also, okay, he's not peeking over to see that any of these are occupied, but he just knows this one is empty. Of course, he could have made a... Maybe he noticed that when he was doing his situational awareness scan. Whatever. Ah, this minigame again. I kind of futzed it the last time. Let's do this again. Left and right. Up and down. Up and down. Okay, this again. Up and down. Oh god, this again. They're gonna time it at some point. Up and down. No, I need the left and right again. Up and down. God, balls it. Now, this would be actually a good place where they would have an honest-to-God indicator where you're moving the mouse on the screen rather than trying to concentrate about left, right, and up and... Okay. See, same thing happened last time. I have no idea how I actually managed it. Hold the skip cinematic, which is only gonna last 30 seconds anyway, so why bother? And we're gonna run over here, make some noise. No one is going to notice. And hop over that way in a way that probably defies the conservation of energy and momentum. And go up here. Up here, and over to the moon, which is again going to... That didn't make so much noise. Yeah, okay, that was what was bugging me. Because when you hop over from the moon, right, it's obviously just supported by a string, but it's suddenly fixed. So when you jump away, it should just kind of, you know, it's a lot lighter than you are, so it should just swing out and you should almost basically fall vertically. But whatever. And this guy with super glossy eyes.
Hey, Ethan. You should have come to me. We would have found another way.
Yes, another way.
Yes.
You would have known something, but there was all secrecy.
For what it's worth, I'm sorry.
Now, I don't know if you noticed in the back there, but there's a little kid. You know, right there. Because I am effectively the worst assassin in the universe. Which is not entirely true, because Altair was the worst assassin in the universe. Because every person he killed was a load-bearing boss with, you know, with a silent alarm triggered to his heartbeat. So the instant he died, no matter how sneaky you were, everybody would just pop up and immediately know that there was an assassin that needed murdering. Hump-a-dum, walking slightly more quickly.
Come, please.
Walking.
I've done no wrong. I searched the upper balconies.
Okay. Hump-a-dum, walking around, pushing through people. Wait, the meter hasn't been invented. Has it been invented yet? Wait, this is 1745. Something's... I'll have to look that up. When the meter was invented. Of course, that's an Animus overlay, so it doesn't really matter. Go, go, go! Hump-a-dump-a-dum, walking around. Chump. Well, it's nice to see the guards fingering the wrong people for a change. Now here, if you would really optimally want to go around the edge of the room and just kind of sneak through, but no, we're just gonna walk straight through. And you see, this would have been a good indicator if they were gonna keep like a crowd thing, or you walk out using a crowd. But no, you just make your way through. And you make your dashing escape.
And how was the opera?
Rather dull, truth be told.
No, you really shouldn't commentate on your gameplay like that at Ubisoft. No matter how accurate it may be in this case.
By your command.
By your command. Yeah, I used that joke the first time I went through this. I'll do it again. Let's see.
Fascinating.
Yep, we're still recording.
Gentlemen, I hold in my hand a key. And if this book is to be believed, it will open the doors.
Let's just make the assassins look even more like Freemasons.
Those
Old school ones, at
reigned
least.
and vanished from the world.
But we knew that.
Do we know what it is that will be held within?
I didn't know that the assassins knew that. Oh, but they had forgotten so
perhaps
much.
a weapon,
Whatever.
or something as yet unknown, unfathomable in its construction and purpose.
Uh-huh.
Could be any of these things, or none of them.
And everyone is as bored as we are.
They're still an enigma, these precursors. But of one thing I am certain. Whatever waits behind those doors shall prove a great boon to us all.
Or our enemies, should they find it first.
They won't. You've seen to that.
Yeah.
I assume you know where this storehouse is?
Ah, Mr. Harrison.
Gentlemen,
How fare your calculations?
I believe the site lies somewhere within
In
this
Delaware. He points to you circle Delaware, and he points to Delaware.
Were that I could be more...
The future
That's all
fate
right.
of humanity
Suffice it for a
rests
start.
in
That's why
Delaware.
we've called you
I used to
here,
live in
Master
Delaware.
Kenway. We'd like
It
for you
sucked.
to travel to America, locate
To
the
America.
storehouse, and take possession of its contents.
I'm yours to command. Although a job of this magnitude will require more than just myself.
Too bad.
course. Upon this paper are the names of 5 men sympathetic to our cause. Each is also uniquely suited
This is
to
going
aid
to be
you
your
in endeavor.
team.
With them at your side, you'll want for nothing.
Jonathan Pitcairn.
Then I'd best be on my way.
I knew our faith in you was not misplaced. We booked you passage to Boston. Your ship leaves at dawn.
Yay, I'm going to Boston.
Go forth, Hatham.
I'm gonna park
Bring
my
honor to
car
us
in
all.
Yaba. Yep, I did that. With full sync. Woo, I guess, whatever. It was basically the tutorial mission. Look at me. Now, one thing I'm wondering is that those look like gun decks. They're apparently not set up as such, but they look as gun decks. And if that's so, then this is a ship of the line. Because it would, yeah, with 3 gun decks. Yeah, it's a first-rate ship of the line, most like. And you wouldn't... It's not necessarily something you just charter.
Some fresh air might do me good.
But this is where I'm going to stop for the time being, because it's where I stopped the first time. And now we'll see how the video came out. And if it came out well, you'll be watching it, so you'll already know in the future. Anyway, this has been Skolo, this is Assassin's Creed 3, and I'm gonna quickly check up on Merchantmen of the Period, see if they really did say that you're booking passage on a first-rate ship of the line, or if it actually is supposed to look like this. I'll also find out when the meter was invented. And, quit, just so you can see the silliness involved here. See, no. Okay, yes, it did remember that I wanted high, all of that. One thing that you guys didn't see was me doing the left key on that little back down here, but that's actually the backspace key. You could tell the enter key, but backspace key is, I mean, it's not a little cheap because it's also not got the right form factor, and I don't really care about that. Yeah, okay, so the voice volume's already maxed, and okay. And we're done.